Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career on the PC here with Cadillac. We are in our second season. Tonight it's round 4 and we are heading to Suzuka for the 2027 Japanese Grand Prix. And let's hope that we have a little bit better luck than we did last night, where Hamilton was clobbered in very bizarre circumstances while stationary by George Russell, which pretty much ruined his race. But he was able to help hold the field up a little bit for Valtteri to enable Valtteri to get a point or two. So not a complete loss, but we're going tonight to a very different type of circuit, Suzuka, just the one DRS zone as opposed to 4, and a lot of areas where dirty air could really hurt us quite badly, especially through the S's in the first sector. Weather forecast is interesting as well. As you can see, it's going to be dry on the Friday, and then wet through Saturday and Sunday. So we've got a very good chance of a wet race tonight. Lap record set by Kimi Antonelli in 2025. Wonder if that'll get beaten today. Let's take a quick look at the standings before we go any further. So as you can see, Mercedes are top in the constructor standings, dominant in the first 2 rounds, but did slip up a little bit in Australia. And then in the Drivers' Championship, it is George who leads from Max Verstappen. George won the opening 2 rounds at a cruise, but Max picked up a race win and a sprint win last night in Melbourne, and it's closed the gap to just 7 points. Lando's got his season a little bit kick-started as well, outscoring George yesterday, so he is now 18 points behind his new teammate. Oscar having a good run as well. He's got himself up into 4th place. And then if you look a bit further down, we've got Lewis here in 14th with 6 points. Valtteri in 17th with 2 points. So we picked up 8 points from the opening 2 Grand Prix. That's not too bad. Let's see if we can maybe add another point or 2 tonight, if at all possible. Evening Dino, evening Johnny. Good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who's lurking in the chat as well. Let's get ourselves prepped and ready.
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. The home of Honda, Suzuka is an old-school circuit with high-speed straights and tight turns through the S's. At 130R, the track crosses over itself, then loops back around, giving drivers a sweeping expanse of track to challenge them. In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend starts here.
Evening Asaf, welcome to the stream. Right, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay then, so Japan, different characteristics, very different characteristics to Melbourne. However, it is a circuit that's a little bit more likely to have a narrower setup window. It should be hopefully a little easier to figure out the setup here. The toe is almost always a complete 0, and the camber's usually, but not always, pretty high, so that might help. Do I want to run the rookies tonight? I think yes, let's give the rookies a run out tonight. So let's give Jack a run, and we'll put them on soft tyres, and let's give Logan a run as well. There we go. Evening, Mike. Right, so we want to go. Let's try and do 25 laps on those tyres. I don't know if they'll do 25 laps around here, but we'll give it a go. Okay, still too early for us to be swapping parts out. Everything's still healthy enough. So, let's get the setups on, shall we? Let's start with a 7 on the front. Let's go with a 13 on the rear. I'm going to leave this as a 5.5 on this car. I'm going to push that all the way up and take that all the way down. And then for car 1, we'll go a little different. We'll go with a 7 again on the front. We'll go with a 13, and then a 6.4. I'm just going to push this up just a little bit this time to there, and again we're going to whack that all the way down. What is the love heart at the bottom? I think that's just so you can throw out some emojis, like that. Yes, we are prepped and set. And let's hit the track. Get Sergeant out first. So these guys should revert back to the... Actually, no, they won't, will they? I was thinking they would revert back to the Cadillac helmets, but the way the coding for the helmets works, one is tied to car 1, one is tied to car 2. So Crawford should be wearing Valtteri's helmet, Sargent should be wearing Hamilton's helmet.
And we need a good warm-up on the
But they will have their own numbers.
Copy.
Good for me too. Get the tyres ready.
Copy.
So there we can see Valtteri's helmet on Jack and Hamilton's helmet on Logan. So Stroll has looks like, if I remember right, it was gearbox issues in the last race, so it looks like he's got some wear on his gearbox that's being carried over. Again, if that turns orange over practice, that will get swapped out before we get into qualifying. Otherwise, if it goes orange during qualifying, that will be a pit lane start to have that replaced. Braking part Ferme. Got some rookies in the car as well. Let's see, we've got someone. I'm not sure who San is. We've got Alexander Dunn in at McLaren. That is Piastri sitting out. Nagel in for Hadjar at Red Bull. Sorry. Victor Martin sitting in at Mercedes for George Russell. Porsche getting a run out in place of Liam Lawson at Williams. Kean Shields getting a run out instead of Ocon at Haas. Tim Tramnitz in for Arvid Lindblad at Audi. Kasper Stuka is getting a run out for Yuki Tsunoda at Aston. And we've got both of our rookies in as well. So who is San for Ferrari? Sanhueza. Pablo Sanhueza. Another name I recognise. Alright, let's speed them up. Still sucks they won't be making another one of these games. They had so much potential. Yeah, I think so. I mean,
We need to work on the tires.
definitely not
On the tires.
the finished article by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, pretty well polished. Definitely not without bugs, unfortunately. It's inherent that you're going to get that kind of issue in a game with a small dev team and an annual franchise release window, which did not do them any favours, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it would have been nice for the franchise to continue. I think the team that worked on the game definitely had, a passion for Formula One. I think that comes across in the way that the game is presented. It maybe lacks depth in a few areas, but I don't know. Maybe someone will pick this type of game up in the future and have another crack at it, but we might have to wait quite some time now before we see another F1 Manager game. Evening, Wayne.
Any feedback on the car?
All right, we've got a great rating, so that could be anything up to about 96, 97%. Won't be that high, I don't think. 83%. That's not too bad. What are we like on our development run? 52, so we've still got a way to go on that yet. Let's see what Crawford thinks of his setup. Or Valtteri's setup, as I should say.
How does my tires look?
And try to keep the temperature on the tires.
Should be able to get about 20 laps out of these tyres by the look of it, but certainly not 25. Down to 60% and have done 12 laps. Not firing up properly, temperature-wise. Hard tyres are going to be an absolute no-go if there is any dry running in the Grand Prix, unless we really push them. Oh, we've got a VSC. Someone's binned it.
VSC. Stay as close to...
All right, that is Mick Schumacher, and I'm not sure which of the Ferraris. Oh, that's the reserve Ferrari. That was the reserve rookie driver. Who was he sat in for? Set in for Sainz. So Sainz's car takes a whack. Schumacher's got some damage there. Sanquez is out. And there you can see Mick missing a good chunk of his front wing on both sides there. All right, we are close to feedback from Crawford. Let's see if we can get that from him. I don't know why Sargent's still out there, actually. I should just call him in. There we go, feedback from Jack. 85%. So neither driver
Copy that.
amazingly satisfied, but relatively
Vehicle
happy,
safety
all
car
things
ending.
considered.
Copy.
And box, this lock box, speed confirm.
All right, in we come.
Copy, copy. Pit entry.
Speed limiter on, please. And stop on the marks.
And let's have a look what we need to change.
Watch your speed.
Rear wing.
Pit lane. Okay, stopping on the marks and P1, please.
This could go either way. I think it's more likely to be a 12.5 than a 13.5, but yeah, let's go with a 12.5. There we go. I'm going to push this out this way. Evening, Daniel. Evening, Esparza. So that's a good gap. That's a good gap. That's a bit, maybe a bit big. That's not really something I can change without hurting something else. Unless I maybe go with a 3.7. Which means that's going to have to go up a bit more. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's give it a go. I'm not convinced, but we'll give it a go. Again, we're off on the rear wing here. Do I go the opposite way? Let's go the opposite way on this one. That's again going to have to go up. That's going to push that down. Again, not convinced, but we'll try it. I might have got this the wrong way round on these cars here. But this is what multiple practice sessions are for. Little heads up for anyone who's new, we always whiz through practice because it just takes so long, but we always run the race at normal time at times 1, so it's a full hour and a half for the race itself, and we do try and do that for most of qualifying as well, or at least the bits of qualifying that we're involved in.
You to push this out lap.
We generally get knocked out quite early. Alright, so they're back on the track with fresh setups on the car. Let's see if these are any improvements.
And try to to work on your front tires.
And that is Stroll going orange. So that gearbox, if it was the gearbox, which I think it was, will get replaced now at the end of this session.
Update when you
We
can.
definitely went the wrong way with Logan there.
For the most part.
62%. We are done with the development runs though, so we can just call him straight in. And let's readdress those issues. Yeah. Okay, so that's a 13.5. Went the wrong way here as well. That's too high, so let's bring that down to a 7. That's now looking about where it needs to be. That's looking about where that needs to be. That could be it. That could be it. Alright, just got to wait for Jack now. As out goes one of the Salvas, one of the Audis. For a late run, that's Tim Tramnitz. Taking full opportunity of getting some time in the car. Take a look at Mick. Looks like he's still running that same damaged wing. They did not replace it when he was in the pits. Does that mean they don't have another spare, or are they deliberately waiting until the end of the session before they replace it so that they don't risk another one getting broken in this session? If they don't have another spare, they'll do one or two things. They'll either drop it down in the next session to a different spec, penalty free because it's not parc fermé, or they'll emergency manufacture a new one. My guess is, because the AI just burns through money, they'll emergency manufacture if they don't have any of that spec left. Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. There we go. %. So we actually went the right way with Jack. That's good. Let's take a look at his car. So that's good. That needs to change. That's it. It's the only thing that was off. So that might be it. We might need to tweak something slightly, but if anything, it would only be the front wing, I think. We can't change the toe. So yeah, I think that is it. for that setup. I'm definitely a lot more confident that that's it for Crawford than it is for Sargent. But that's it for us in this session. We are finished. No more running. Both of our rookies got a run out this weekend. That'll help with their development runs, with their training. Even if it does mean putting a little bit of extra mileage on the cars. A worthwhile trade-off, I think. And we've got our setups pretty much, I think, sorted. Let's see. There's a penalty for Porsche, which is Liam Lawson. There's a penalty for Schumacher. That'll be for whacking Sandweser. So a couple of cars facing grid drops in qualifying. And we're going to get ready for practice 2. Okay, last guaranteed dry session of the weekend. So hard tyres going on. We're going to run these long. I think it's normally 17 laps around Suzuka. So that would be 34 for 2 runs, plus a couple of extra laps. Let's put 40 laps of fuel in. It's probably a little more than we need, but better safe than sorry. Try and take these tyres to the end of the session. Get our drivers plenty of track knowledge, and hopefully the setups won't need much tweaking so that we don't have to call them in mid-session, because that will have a big knock-on as to how much track time or track knowledge they gain if we have to interrupt their run.
Green light.
And out we go. Let's see something nice, please. Let's see a couple of cars at 100. There we go. There's one of them. Lovely stuff. Let's get some 100s in the chat.
Yeah, understood.
Now we just need the same for Valtteri. Come on, Valtteri, don't let me down here. Come on, Valtteri. Ah, why are you taking so long to get me feedback? Come on. Come on, tenterhooks here. Oh man, he's really dragging it out. There we go.
Anything we can help you with?
It's another 100.
Keep the same.
Fantastic. So both of our drivers are fully prepped in terms of setup. Car part knowledge is slowly eking its way up to 100 as well. They are still learning the new chassis and the new rear wing. Mainly the new chassis, I think. And track knowledge will continue to climb throughout the session. There you can see they always start with a low curve, and then after about, well, nearly 15 minutes, then it starts to ramp up at a higher rate. This is why you always want to try and avoid, if you're running rookies in the first session, you always want to try and make sure they get an uninterrupted run for your main drivers in one of the remaining 2 sessions, so that they get a long time at that accelerated rate. If you call them in around here, then when they come back out, they're back on that rate for the first 12-15 minutes of their run again, which is never good. And that can translate to quite a difference in the amount of track knowledge gained. It's not really an issue if you're not running the rookies, because you've got 3 sessions. But if you are running rookies in the first session, then yeah, you're going to have to make some time up on track for your other drivers.
Can you see any damage in the car?
Oh, damn it.
Stand by.
Valtteri's broken an underfloor. Where's he done that? He must have done that, I'm guessing. Maybe running wide on the exit of the Degners. Just before going under the bridge. That's not good. That's another part that's going to need replacing. So I don't think I'm going to have a spare underfloor now after this. Right, what's my feedback looking like? Not bad at all. Means we can get away with just a very small amount of running in the final practice session. Again, quite a pronounced difference in tyre wear between our 2 drivers. Hamilton definitely better looking after his tyres than Valtteri.
And checkered flag.
There we go, end of practice 2. And we just need 6% to get our drivers fully leveled up. So that is... these account for 25% each of the setup. So that's more than likely going to be maybe 1 or 2% most on car part knowledge gained. The rest is all going to have to come from here. So we're going to need to gain, let's say, 11% on track knowledge and maybe 1% on car part knowledge to get our drivers fully prepped. That's not too bad though. That's easily done. Alright, we are starting on inters in this session. 3.3 mil. So quite wet. Let's change that underfloor. Yeah, that was my last spare underfloor. Oh no, it wasn't. It's already just discarded that one. So I've still got 1 spare underfloor. That's good. It's a suspension that we broke in the last race. So that's okay. Let's see, 15 laps. We can probably just overfuel a little bit more. Let's go to 20. Again, we're going to put the ERS into harvest, so it just reduces the wear rate on the ERS unit slightly. No point wearing them out in practice for no reason. And let's hit the track.
So now we have green light.
It's not likely to get too much worse, and it will get better later. I wonder if this is an indicator of what we can expect tomorrow. in the race. It's certainly a bit more of an indicator of what we can expect later today in qualifying. We should be pretty close. 97%. 98. Oh, of course, I got my maths slightly wrong on this. Because these are only 25%, we need double. Not what I was suggesting. And there we go, both drivers are at 100, so we can call them in and save wear and tear on the cars. And there is a yellow flag out there. That's another thing we can hopefully avoid, is making a silly mistake and breaking something.
And box this one.
Here's the replay. Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. And that's... oh no, that's not quite what they would have wanted. They've got to be careful and watch the car there.
A little clumsy there from Tsunoda. I don't think he will have damaged the car though.
Slippery track, pit exit.
And in comes Valtteri as well.
Box there is very slippery.
And that's it for us. We are done in this session. Cars are fully prepped. Drivers are fully prepped. Now we just need to wait for the checkered flag. Let's see if the weather has dropped significantly. Down a little bit, down to 2, but climbing back up again. They should make another F1 manager. Yeah, they should, but they won't. I think this year would have been the final year of their licensing agreement had they not negotiated an early exit with F1 management. So even if they had made one more, that probably would have been the last one anyway. There we go. Drivers up to 86% track knowledge, 98% on car knowledge, maxed out the setups, 100% on the prep. That's because we've got contributions from our development driver, our setup driver, Fittipaldi. Helps boost our drivers so they don't have to spend quite so long on the track. And now we are ready for qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
Suzuka is a notorious circuit both for its unpredictable weather and the difficulty of closely following other cars. Making the right call on when to head out to avoid traffic and dirty air can make all the difference here.
Now there's a driver we've been talking about quite a bit. Karun, how will they be feeling today?
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things, but I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
So don't go anywhere, folks. It's nearly time for qualifying.
Nice to see Bortoletto popping up in a cutscene there. Okay, so track water level 1.43, quite low compared to what we saw in final practice. Nothing to change here, but we are going to add in an extra lap of fuel. There we go. And do I want to get rid of the cooldown lap? No. Alright, let's see how we do. Just going to pause while we take a look at the weather. It is going to get worse, but it will drop down to potentially its lowest level right at the end of the session. So first run should probably be the best run.
Green light.
Unfortunately, Bearman snuck out in between my two cars. Everyone's coming out early because the track is going to get worse.
Reminder for brake temperature. All good.
Do I say everyone? Not everyone just yet, but we'll see more popping out soon, I think.
Some full throttle will help for tire temps.
Understood.
There we go. We've got more than half the grid on the track now. And here come the rest of them.
So you're in a good position.
Who's lurking behind Hamilton? One of the Saubers, one of the Audis. It's Bortoletto. So Behrman may get a bit of a tow from Valtteri, and Bortoletto may get a bit of a tow from Hamilton. Everyone but Russell on the track at the moment. Where's George? Oh, God, there he is. Wait until we come round to pop out in front of us in the worst possible part of the track. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell.
Issues.
Someone may accidentally turn in on him.
Track is clear. Track is clear.
It will be mode push for last corner.
Oh, no. That's what I meant to do. Change the camera. How many seasons am I planning on doing? I think I might keep this save file going many seasons. But I am working on streamlining my mod process a little bit so that I can just drag and drop mods in and out so that I can do other things without having to lose everything on this one, if that makes sense. Create mod folders that are going to be interchangeable so that I can work on this, do an episode on this, and then swap that folder out for a different mod folder, which will then allow me to do something different on a different series. Alright, our first sector times aren't stellar. Slowest of everybody so far. The middle sector's not looking amazing, although we are slightly up on Bortoletto in the middle. We're up on Iwasa. Valtteri's going to go for another lap. So is Lewis. So he did a 1:33.8, so 0.8 of a second behind Behrman. And 1:34.2 for Valtteri. So down an extra 0.4. The track is starting to get worse, but we will do the extra lap anyway, because if nothing more, it will certainly help improve the confidence a little bit. Yeah, and with this save file, we may not stay with Cadillac. We may get them up to a point and then move to a different team. I don't know yet. There are still changes to come. There are rumours that Alpine are up for sale. Maybe even Racing Bulls. Maybe even Williams.
Tyre temps look good. Mode push, and you are good to go.
So yeah, track is now very much wetter than it was when we did our first run. So like I said, I'm not expecting an improvement on this lap.
For traffic. And will be touch button off.
But I am looking for the extra little bit of confidence gain. So it was a slow first sector for Valtteri. It'll be just as slow, if not slower, for Lewis, but at least we're quicker than George's first sector. George 2.8 seconds, 2.9 seconds effectively off the pace of his teammate, who's currently top. Could we see George get eliminated in Q1 again? It's all going to come down to the last few minutes of the session now. There's going to be no improvements until then, apart from possibly George, but even so, the track's half a mil wetter than it was when he did his first run. And he's not even made it back to the garage yet. And there we go. We completed the flying lap. That gets us right on the cusp of peak. Well, actually, is just in peak confidence.
Okay, so mode in, box this lap.
Yep.
Not as high for Hamilton, despite having the quicker time. That's because Behrman took the top spot away from Valtteri before Hamilton could. That's why Valtteri went all the way up to peak, because he went top with the purple lap at the start. Then Behrman was second crossing the line. Hamilton was third and did not go top. That's why he didn't go all the way up. Speaking of Behrman, he is leaving the pits again. Here he is. Coming round to have another crack. And you can see the track now over 2 mil. So let's see, Behrman on his lap. Let's leave this up here so you can see the difference between track water level reports. We'll have to wait till the end of the lap, I think, for that to show up. But the track is now nearly 2.2. It was 1.4 when we started this session, and he did his first lap.
And no more rain expected.
Yep.
Box area is very slippery.
So I'm going to try something a little different
Be
for
careful, slippery. Pit wall.
this second run. We're going to do 2 flying laps, but we're not going to do a cool down lap. Oh, we got a red flag. Now that changes everything. That is Iwasa in the barrier.
Now we're down at turn 9. Within a split second, the impact's made. And that's a tough one to take for both driver and the car.
So, that is going to reset the water level down a bit. Back to pretty much where we started. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with the weather from now on. Is it going to hold still? I think it's going to stay like that for the rest of the session now. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe slightly dip in the very closing moments. Still going to stick to our original plan of doing 2 time laps with no cooldown lap. So 1 minute 32 to do a lap, plus say 2 minutes to do an out lap. We need to be going out with about 4.5 minutes to go. And now everyone's got a chance to improve. Apart from Iwasa, who's out. Let's encourage someone to make a move. And no one's going out. They're all going to wait till the very end. Oh, as soon as I say that, out goes George. And Magnussen. And there goes Stroll. We'll send out Hamilton now.
Brake warming reminder.
So these guys are going to be in the way at the start of the second flying lap, unfortunately. That may be an issue. Not so much for Valtteri. Definitely for Lewis, I think. We're likely to get a whole load of cars pop out in front of our first flying lap as well here, so we may be doubly screwed. We'll see. Yeah, look at them all piling out the pits, look. Even if Farah,
So you're in a good
she's
position.
not going to be comfortable this lap.
Gap is good. Good to go.
So I'm going to actually abort. I'm going to call them both in. We'll still have time, and then we'll send them back out again just to do one flying lap. Otherwise, we're just going to get hit with horrific traffic on potentially both laps. This is where we have a chance to try and mitigate that a little bit. But actually, no, let's leave Hamilton out there because he's got a bit more of a gap. But Valtteri would definitely have hit a lot of traffic. Alright, so we need to change that to just one flying lap. And go. Go through the center S's. Round Dunlop. Into Degner 1. Degner 2. It's not a particularly good first sector for Lewis. Wonder if that's because we cancelled his warm-up and then restarted it again. Oh my God. What a nightmare. See McLaren's just causing havoc there. I'm glad we got a second lap coming here for Lewis. Oh God. We weren't pushing at all, no wonder.
Use the energy.
Understood.
So those tyres are not at temperature. Ah, damn it.
Good to go.
I thought it felt slow watching that lap. Didn't PR. Here we go. We're about a second quicker, but it's still off the pace. How's Valtteri doing? .32.9, that's better. So it looks like Hamilton's going out. There's a chance for Valtteri to get through. I think Russell's out. Hamilton crosses the line. He is out. A little bit of traffic at the end of the lap here for Valtteri. Could have been worse. It's still not ideal. And he improves, but only as far as 19th, so both cars out in Q1. But George, once again, is out in Q1, and he's bottom of the grid. Slower than Iwasa, who crashed. All right, let's see who sticks it on pole then. Remember, we have penalties for Lawson and Schumacher. Has anyone else picked one up? Not yet. It is Lando on pole ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, who, let's not forget, got a podium for Aston here last season. Finished in third. Can he go one better than that? He's in second to start the Grand Prix. Leclerc will take third ahead of Ocon, Max, then Ollie Behrman, Albon, Piastri, Sainz. Schumacher makes the top 10, but does have that penalty, so that will drop him out down into 13th place. So Antonelli will get promoted up to 10th, and then Gasly, Hadjar. Lawson's got a penalty. That will be for the collision he caused in Australia last night. That'll drop him down 3 places behind Lindblad, Stroll and Bortoletto. Then Magnussen, Valtteri, Hamilton, Iwasa and George last.
It won't be long before we get underway here in Japan with 53 figure-of-8 laps around this historic circuit.
Anything can happen at Suzuka, as Kimi Raikkonen proved in 2005. The Finn battled all the way from 17th to win. Will we see a similar show of will and talent today, I wonder?
Drivers will battle it out this weekend on the snaking turns of Suzuka, the only figure-of-8 track in Formula One. High-speed downforce will be the name of the game here, if teams want to secure a place on that podium. Welcome to race day, and before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
All right, what's the starting water level? Oh, 0.85, so DRS will be active at the start. Let's take a look at the amended grid. So there you see Antonelli up into 10th, Schumacher down to 13th place, Lawson down to 17th place. No other changes. And it's gonna dry up at the end. All right, let's take a look at what the drivers think is going to actually happen. So Hamilton predicts it'll be dry on lap 28. We can't necessarily trust our graph here, so this is why I generally tend to listen to what the drivers think. And oh, very different for Valtteri. He says lap 38. That is very different. Why is that so different? Ooh, okay. We're gonna have to wing it. Whether we go onto a set of softs and then look after them at the end, or whether we go onto a set of mediums, which is probably a little bit more likely. I don't know, but we are going to take a little bit of fuel out. Just a lap of fuel. So that we can be aggressive in the first stint, but not leave ourselves having to do too much fuel saving later. There we go. We are going to have to wing it with strategy. But apart from that, we are prepped and ready. The Japanese Grand Prix is next.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. The McLaren driver now fully focused on this race.
Starting in the top 10 is good, but they'll need to play the race really well to not lose places.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine.
Going to be a tough race. Yes, it is, Mike. It is going to be a very tough race.
They're ready to go here at the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, let's see who gets away well. As Valtteri goes around the outside of Hamilton. Stroll's got some more damage on his car. I don't know if that is not starting damage. So I think Stroll has damaged his underfloor already. And so is Schumacher, I think, potentially. Or is that just wear? It might be wear on their engine. But two drivers having problems with their car already certainly helps us.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Right, now we're going to have to just ease down a bit.
Charge button on. Charge
Not so
button
much play
on.
possum, but
Understood.
protect the car. I don't want to change inters.
Cool your tyres.
I want to stay on just one set.
Charge on.
Copy.
Just cool down the tyres as much as you can.
Copy.
Norris got away cleanly at the front. There's about a second gap to Yuki in second. It's Leclerc, Verstappen, Ocon, Behrman, Albon, Piastri, Antonelli and Sainz. Russell's got past Iwasa. There he is, right behind Valtteri.
DRS enable.
Oh, of course, yes, DRS. I forgot DRS was active. That's why our temperatures are skyrocketing. Look at the track water level. It's just 0.6 mil. So this is potentially going to burn up the tyres of the other cars. If we can keep our tyre temps under control, if I didn't even think about the temperature. We can keep our tyre temps under control for the next couple of laps. We can maybe capitalise on the AI needing to box to replace their inters with us not doing that. Temperatures are going to continue to creep up though.
Let's have mode push.
Yep.
And more energy available.
Alright, tyre temps starting to come down a little bit. Water level now slowly starting to trickle up a bit. We're not getting dropped because we're burning our battery, so we're staying in the DRS train. That's a blessing and a curse. One, we're not getting dropped, but two, it's keeping the heat in the tyres. Hamilton is very good in these conditions, so maybe he might actually be able to jump Bortoletto if we can get a good run on him somewhere. And there we go, tyre temps definitely starting to come down now. You see George harrying and hassling Valtteri, trying to find a way through.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Can we get a run into Spoon?
And tires are good to push.
Not quite.
You can save less. Suggests that you can reduce the amount
Oh,
of lift.
Bortoletto having a look at Magnussen.
Copy.
Hamilton trying to find a way through. Oh, he's going for a look. And Valtteri sees a gap. And Valtteri sneaks on through. But Hamilton takes the place back again. And there's a chance here for Lewis up the inside. Could not get that move done.
This focuses a long race.
And we're now pretty much out of battery.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
DRS is still active.
Charge
I'm
on.
worried we might get dropped on this lap. But we've got a nice run through 220R into Spoon. Gap back down nicely. Albon gets past Ocon. Gasly gets past Sainz. And Norris is free and clear at the moment, 2.5 seconds away at the top.
Understood.
Magnussen trying to retake that place from Bortoletto.
Charge on.
And we're about to lose the DRS. There we go. DRS is gone. Turn the tyre temps up a bit now.
So we need to push.
Valtteri under immense pressure from George, who's having a little look at the inside line. Couldn't get it. Get to live to fight another day.
Charge on. We need big lift off.
We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Copy.
Another little look into 130R. Just letting us know he's there. Staying in the 1 second, less important now.
It's more and more rain.
Now that DRS has been turned off, but by the same token, if we want to make overtakes, we need to stay in the slipstreams. Let's try and get a little bit more battery for Valtteri if we can. This is a risk,
Charge on, please.
especially with George looking so feisty behind us. Not really an issue in this first sector because deployment in the first sector is almost non-existent. But once we get through Dunlop and out of Degner 2, that's when battery starts to become used a bit more. I'm hoping the fact that we are close to the back of Hamilton will give us enough of a slipstream. I don't want to do it through 220R,
Charge on.
because that is a key overtaking spot if you've got a DRS advantage.
Charge on.
Copy.
Now you can see that we have dropped off a little bit. 2.5 seconds now behind Magnussen, Bortoletto and Stroll. Again, the AI is going to be pushing their tyres to get more pace, but it does mean that they're going to burn them up a lot quicker than us. So I am expecting a lot of cars to have to box and come out behind us. I'm playing the track position for my strategy here and hoping it will be good enough.
Charge on.
Copy.
As we've given George a little sniff of an opportunity here into turn 1. Valtteri keeps them covered off. Oh, and look at this. Tyres are actually out of the window. Are we going to have to push the tyres? That changes things. We'll keep an eye on that. Back into the window now. And here comes George. George makes the move, pushes us a little wide. We got away without damaging the underfloor. Let's see if we can retake that place
Correct.
Okay, let's
from
get on. Still everything's
from
played
George
for.
through here. George is pushing.
No more lift and coast.
Copy.
We didn't close up at all.
Mode push, please. Mode push.
Okay.
In fact, that's all we can do just to try and stay with George at the moment.
Charge on.
Copy.
And we need to increase lift and coast by 30%.
Copy.
I'm a little worried about strategy now. Still looking around about lap 27, 28, according to our prediction here.
And you are doing a good job on tires. Keep it like this.
Understood.
But temperature's going to be an issue. We are going to dip down again, but then we're going to climb up towards 3 mil. We are probably going to have to push the tyres when we hit that, just to keep them fired up. Here comes Russell,
So
trying to go up the inside through 130R. Hamilton is actually comfortably ahead. In the end, Russell backs out of it. And let's see if we can just push Hamilton's pace a little bit. Closing back up to the cars in front, help him keep some temperature in his tyres.
Tires are okay.
See Bortoleto and Magnussen still fighting. And we are closing the gap. So assuming that the AI is going to be changing to a second set of inters, the question now becomes when. Let's see what Valtteri was down for. So Valtteri was planning on stopping around about lap 16. Let's see if that holds true, as Valtteri might come under a little bit of pressure from Iwasa here. Push his battery as well now.
Mode push.
Copy.
Probably shouldn't have underfueled. If we were able to push the braking zone, that would certainly, I think, help keep the tyres up to temperature.
At the moment we are good.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Yep.
Let's just get a little bit more consistent temperature into the tyres, heat them up a bit, and then we'll let them cool down again. Oh, and this time George is close enough to try and go side by side through 130R into the triangle. And then we accelerate through final curve. Still ahead of him, but he'll have a run on us into turn 1.
Okay, in front, Magnussen.
Gap to him 2.2. And behind we have
And
Russell.
Hamilton able to hold him back. We're out of battery with Valtteri.
Charge on.
Copy.
But we have broken away from Iwasa. See Hamilton's line changing through the Degners there to go defensive to cover off George. Lindblad gets past Schumacher. Russell again closing up through Spoon under braking. And the track water level is dropping.
Slow down now.
Copy.
We need to save tires in high speed.
Understood.
So we're on the downside of this, which means that we're about here on the prediction. That's leaning towards a later than lap 28 stop at the moment. Oh, we got a safety car. Ooh, Schumacher is out. He's broken his underfloor completely.
Safety car.
He hit the curb somewhere and broke the
Stay as
underfloor
close
a
as you
second
can to
time,
zero on the
which
delta.
made it
Yep.
Do whatever you need for tyres.
a full-on retirement. And the
back to
question
lifting
now is,
coast
do
now.
I box now for a set of inters? I'm expecting we're going to see quite a few stops from the AI. Unfortunately, it's not going to be at racing speed, so we're not going to gain as many positions as we could have done. But we definitely have a chance.
Take care of the tires.
And we can certainly
Sounds about
deal with the
on.
fuel issues now. So, are we going to see a whole flurry of pit stops? I think we've got to stay out. Try and gain track position and then hang on as long as we can until the dries come.
What position are we?
Guy in front is Magnussen.
Behind you we have Russell.
So, are we going to see a flurry of activity in the pits? In goes Norris. And Snowder and Max. Everyone's boxing. Cars are going to get held. There's a long delay for Norris getting away there. Oh, Leclerc getting really badly held.
Copy.
Now down to the pits. There's been a hold-up.
Problem for Behrman in the pits. And we've avoided all of this chaos. Oh, they couldn't seat that front left properly. So Hamilton up to 7th, Valtteri up to 9th behind Charles Leclerc, ahead of Kimi Antonelli. That's worked out beautifully. Now we just have to hope that we've got enough grip to keep the cars behind us until the weather comes. It's not worked out well for Yuki Tsunoda. He is down in 6th place after those pit stops. And Lawson and Stroll have stayed out. They're the only other two that didn't stop. So Norris is sitting pretty right now because he's going to have brand new tyres. He's going to blitz away, presumably, from Liam Lawson. Max is going to have to try and punch his way past Lawson before he can go chasing. So there is a real opportunity for Norris to sprint away on the restart here.
Copy that.
So lap 14, Norris leads from Liam Lawson, who has not stopped. Max in third, ahead of Lance Stroll, who is a ticking time bomb, just like Schumacher. He has not stopped yet. He has, we think, underfloor damage as well. So if he does what Schumacher did, goes over a curb at just the wrong way, he will break his underfloor and retire as well. Then it's Albon and Tsunoda. Hamilton up to 7th because he didn't stop. Then Leclerc. Valtteri in 9th, same reason, didn't stop.
Energies are good.
Antonelli rounds out the top 10 with Ocon, Behrman, Sainz, Hadjar, Piastri, Gasly, Lindblad, Magnussen.
Copy.
Russell in 19th place now, has got ahead of Bortoletto. And Iwasa is 21st. Mick, the only retirement, which brought out the safety car for breaking his underfloor and stopping on the exit of turn 1. Actually, no, turn 2, isn't it?
Maybe slightly heavier in intensity.
It's about to get a bit wetter. Prediction is maybe pushed back an extra lap to lap 29 now, according to Lewis. I think we might have another lap on the safety car here. Batteries are full. We've dealt with our fuel issues. Tyres are staying in the window, which is good for the restart. We are going to be under a lot of pressure when we get back under green flag conditions. It's very much a short-term gain by staying out. The biggest issue we're going to have is controlling the temperature and wear rate of the tyres. For when the track starts to dry up, to make that switch over to slicks. Because the temperatures are going to go up through the roof, and we're going to have a lot less grip to play with than the other cars. Farah's getting Black Horse ads to take out a loan to pay for the shiny kitchen toaster and kettle. I've been getting supplement ads tonight. You know, British supplements. I've seen them before, but hadn't seen them in a little while. It looks like they're advertising again. And apparently CD Keys has changed its name to Loaded. Not sure why. All right, are we going racing this lap? Should find out down this straight if the safety car's coming in. There we go. It is.
So safety car in this lap. And we may restart next lap.
Yep.
You can save less.
Understood.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job. Okay.
You've got the pace. You can do this.
Copy.
And away we go. Right, so Leclerc initially was a little slow getting underway, but he's put the hammer down now, putting Hamilton under all sorts of pressure.
Tire phase update when you can.
Still really good, mate.
And Leclerc looking a little curious as to whether he can make a move there. Both Williams running well at the moment in the top 5. One stopped, one hasn't. And both of our cars with a Ferrari up the chuff. Actually, no, Sainz has dropped down to 13th, hasn't it? It's Antonelli behind Valtteri. And I am almost out of battery already.
Charge on.
Charge on.
Copy.
Water level is continuing to go. Why is there with the prediction from the driver, don't they have frogs on ladders? Good question, Lucky. Good question. Maybe the team can't afford the ladders. We are really struggling financially. We need to do the time-honoured old school trick and just send as many bold members of staff out into the field as possible and see when they start feeling rain on their head. Or in this case, when they stop feeling it. So, Liam Lawson is still managing to keep Max Verstappen at bay. That's excellent news for Lando. Means he can just drive off to his heart's content without the threat of Verstappen. I don't think there is a particular reference to get Farah. I think it's just, you know, a joke. That's how I interpret it anyway. I mean... Alright, so Leclerc is definitely shaping us up for a run. There you can see Antonelli having a little look at Valtteri in the background as well. He backs out as well. Norris's gap up to 3 seconds now. Let's have another look at the prediction. So we are looking to box earlier than Hamilton suggested by the look of it. So Valtteri's prediction was very wrong. I wonder if the adaptability rating of the driver determines what they think for the predictions. Because Hamilton's adaptability rating is like 97. So if that actually ties into when they think they need to switch at the beginning of the Grand Prix, Hamilton's going to be a better weather station than our weather station. Right, Albon gets past Stroll, so that's Williams now in second and fourth. And Tsunoda immediately putting pressure on Stroll. Let's see if Stroll makes a mistake under this pressure and damages his underfloor. If he does, he's out. Just like we saw with Mick. Oh, and never mind. Tsunoda just goes around the outside like he wasn't even there. Now, is that indicative of Stroll running out of grip? He didn't box, just like we didn't, but we protected our tyres as best we could. The AI, not well known for that. Oh, and he's got an issue. Maybe that's the reason why it was such an easy overtake.
Engine feels quite down.
Power issues developing for Stroll to go along with his underfloor. Maybe that means there's a sniff of an overtake opportunity for Hamilton now. Onto the ham cam. Like Ocon and Behrman just switch places. Valtteri still keeping Antonelli at bay.
Next guy in front is Stroll.
1.0 now.
Stroll is definitely struggling, and I'm going to try and make a move through 220R. Track now starting to dry, so we're on the approach towards slicks now. See, it's brightened up a little bit as well.
and you can use all the boost bar.
Understood.
And we need to increase pushing status.
Now we're not going to get the move done, but we are closing the gap as we head into Spoon. Stroll is too far away to get a slipstream now, so maybe there's a chance that we can jump him, if not into the triangle, then into turn 1. As we go up the inside, and that is move done.
And we need to
And Hamilton up to 6th.
front tires
And now Leclerc has got to try and get his way through.
on.
Yep.
Let's see if we get a little Farah moment. It sounds like we're going to. Right, so Valtteri's dropped back a little bit. Well, I say he's dropped back a bit. We pushed forward and Leclerc just, came with us. So the gap has gone up an extra second or so here. I'm quite content to leave it like this for now. Let's see if Valtteri can start lapping quicker than Stroll and close the gap up while Leclerc is stuck behind him. But also it means that we have a gap between our drivers so we can box them both on the same lap if we need to. Piastri gets past Gasly. That moves him up to P15. And we did take some time out. Ooh, just about keeping Piastri behind someone else with an issue now. It's Iwasa at the back of the grid.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Lawson's still frustrating Verstappen. The gap now 4.5 seconds. I tell you what, I'm surprised actually that Norris hasn't pulled away at a faster rate than he has. I thought with Verstappen putting pressure on Lawson wouldn't be quite so quick, especially with Lawson having stayed out and not boxed. Track water level down to 2 mil. It is slowly easing down. 8 minutes until we go to dry. So 8 minutes until the DRS turns on.
So increase pushing status.
Let's start to use the tyres a little bit more.
No more signs of rain. Copy.
And there we go. There is the warning that the rain is stopping. Got about 4.5 seconds between our drivers at the moment. Prefer it to be slightly higher than that. Russell still down in 19th place, just unable to get himself out of the dirty air enough to make an overtake. Lining up a move on Magnussen, or trying to.
Tires are ready.
And still no way through. Sun is shining. Stroll's fault has escalated.
Engine feels quite down.
His engine might not make it at the end of this to the end of the race at this rate. This is going to frustrate the crap out of Leclerc if he can't get through quickly, which is exactly what I want. I want that gap to keep going up. Gap to Norris is now nearly 7.5 seconds, so now we're starting to see that pace improve. Norris with more tyre to play with than Lawson, and through goes Charles Leclerc. Valtteri's closing in quickly as well. Look, there's Valtteri in the background. We do have a full battery with Valtteri, but I'm loath to use it because, again,
And
need
no
that
more
gap
right. Let me know on
to be
track
big enough that we
conditions.
can box both drivers on the same lap. And have enough of a safety margin that if we do lose a second or so on the pit stop, that it doesn't have a big knock-on effect to Valtteri. Sainz with a fault now as well.
And no more rain expected.
I had a misshift, I don't know what.
He's got some gearbox issues now. Down in 13th place. It's not been a good race so far for Ferrari. Tyre temps are going to start skyrocketing now.
Cool your tyres.
Okay.
What about tyres?
Starting to slide a bit.
DRS.
Have to use a little bit of battery here just to try and punch through. Don't want to get held up behind Stroll.
Copy.
And we're going to. All right. Well, we'll try and get him a bit later in the lap then.
Charge on.
Copy.
Down to 1.2 mil. Dry in 2 minutes, but that just means that the DRS will turn on because it'll be under 1 mil. Doesn't mean it'll be slick conditions.
Mode push now.
Okay.
Okay, Kev, if there's anything left in the tank, let's go for it.
And we need to push.
I think we've got maybe one more lap, actually, looking at the way the track water is drying up.
Let's get after these cars in front.
Now we've definitely got the gap that we needed between our drivers. New fastest lap for Lando Norris, a 1:35.0. Here's a chance into 1:30R.
And just a reminder on guys.
And there we go, we are through on Stroll. Antonelli's going to have to deal with him. We're out of battery with Lewis.
And charge button on, charge on.
And we have a 7-second gap now. That's more than enough.
Reminder for DRS. Charge on.
Right, so now we need to figure out what tyre we're going on to. If we go hard, we're going to have to push them. But they should hopefully wear at a slightly better rate than that. Might just make it to the end. Perhaps more sensible would be soft. Because mediums aren't going to make it, I don't think. Actually, we would have to go very aggressive on the softs on the first stint. Alright, so there's that. Let's take a look at mediums. If we're careful with them, we could maybe make the mediums go the distance. The other option is hards. Mediums is slightly quicker than double soft. But I don't know if Valtteri will be able to make the tyres last. So I think for Valtteri, we'll probably play it safer. Go with the soft. Actually, no. I'm going to go really safe. I'm going to go with this because I'm expecting those tyres will hold better. For Hamilton, I think we can, because he's got better tyre wear, I think we can maybe get away with a set of mediums. And yeah, we do want to box this lap. So, medium tyres for Lewis. We've got plenty of softs for both drivers if we get a safety car at some point.
I'm gonna box this up.
Box this lap.
Yeah, I'm in box.
There is a risk with Valtteri that everybody dies into the pits and there's a little bit of chaos in the pit lane. Hamilton's got a little bit of a cushion to that. But we may possibly get jumped by Leclerc if we don't have a good stop here.
Yeah.
Leclerc's in. So the front runners haven't stopped. Track is now
Understood.
turning into prime slick tyre weather. Ocon has stayed out. Sainz has stayed out because reasons. 2.5 second stop, that's decent. In comes Valtteri. 2.2 second stop, that's good. We get out, still ahead of Kimi Antonelli. Oh, that's going to piss Antonelli off. But DRS is active, so it's going to be a lot harder for us to stay ahead of him now.
No hydraulics, I think.
Oh, more problems for Sainz.
To go.
Norris 10.5 seconds ahead of Lawson.
You're currently P15.
There's no point pushing Valtteri's battery to try and undercut someone because the only person he could undercut is already back out on track again. So
He's 0.5 behind.
same for Hamilton. He was 9 seconds behind, so no chance of an undercut for him. Medium tyres going on. Decent stop there. Lawson has been overtaken. Oh, this is not good for Albon. He's going to have to stack. At least it was a clean stop and a pretty quick stop as well for Lawson. Williams turning their cars around very well, but it's cost them. Tsunoda back up into fourth. Hamilton back into sixth. There goes Charles Leclerc. And Antonelli has done the same to Valtteri.
Right, let's concentrate.
Now we'll use Valtteri's battery.
Mode push.
Coming.
Where's George? 13th. So he's capitalised. Damn it, Behrman gets me as well.
Red. Do your best.
It's all right, we're
Yes,
way out of position anyway, so
He's 1.3 seconds behind.
I'm hopeful that tyres will come back to us. We still yet may see pit stops from some of the AI. We know how
So Piastri's right behind you.
push happy they are with their tyres.
A long way to go.
Let's get these fired up. Antonelli's absolutely flying. Look how far ahead he is. He got us at the start of the lap. He's 2.5 seconds clear of us and nearly 3 seconds clear.
So we have Piastri behind.
Russell up to 12th and closing quickly. Tyres still not up to temperature for either car. It's a touch of a concern. I'm out of battery now as well.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit.
Come on,
otherwise
hard
you'll just run out
tyres,
of
fire
battery,
up.
And then you'll just be taken by everybody.
New fastest lap for Yuki Tsunoda.
Okay, charge on.
Copy.
Immediately beaten by Charles Leclerc.
I can't go faster.
Just do your best.
At least we'll get DRS
Car
here.
behind is Russell.
Tyres are now up to temperature.
He is
Let's see if they will
2.3 seconds
stay
behind.
in the window.
No management required.
Yep.
Russell with the new fastest lap, a 1:31.0. Lap times are falling. And Russell's less than 2 seconds behind Valtteri. Hamilton tyres not fired up yet. This is not good. Maybe softs was the smarter choice. I don't know. They should turn on any moment, but apparently not. Maybe it's 110 degrees. But the fact that I'm pushing them and they're still not up to temperature is not good. It does suggest that we won't be able to sustain the temperature in the tyres when we stop pushing them. They're still not up to temperature. Oh, fault for Lawson. We weren't quick enough to see what it is. But it's severe. Whatever it is, it's gone orange. Not looking such a tough race after all. Well, it's because we didn't box under that VSC when in the wet. That times are still tumbling. Valtteri is overtaken by George. We are going to just start going backwards.
I really struggled, just couldn't go any faster.
Still.
Remember, long way to go in this
Still
race.
below temperature. I'm worried
behind
about
is
Hamilton's tyre wear.
Gap behind 2.4 seconds.
I'm hopeful that the tyres are more durable than the prediction. There we go. They're finally in the window. That took a while, but Antonelli's now just 2 seconds behind.
Tyres are good.
Yep.
The good news is Valtteri's tyres do seem to be holding firm, and they are wearing at a slightly better rate than the prediction. We might have leeway to actually push those tyres a bit harder. Hamilton's tyres, it's too early to tell. Valtteri is about to come under pressure again. And they'll start lining us up. So yeah, I'm expecting Valtteri to very much start moving backwards away from the points very quickly here. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in up the order slightly as the race progresses.
He has DRS.
But I do wonder whether I should have gone soft for Valtteri. At least keep the pace up, keep the confidence up. The tyres are out of the window again. Oh, God damn it.
Can't keep up with them.
No worries, mate. One and a half seconds behind. Let's get after these cars in front.
It's not like we're not pushing the car in general, because we're pushing the braking zones. We're burning off excess fuel. Just still can't keep the heat.
There's progress to be made.
Hamilton's pace is stabilised. Valtteri's pace is nowhere, look. I think we're going to have to leave his tyres in this setting. And then just dip it down if they overheat slightly. If we get a safety car, I am absolutely going to throw him onto a set of soft tyres. Or at the very least, depending on when it happens, a set of mediums and push the mediums.
He does have DRS on you.
These tyres are not working. We are the only car on the hards, which is perhaps quite indicative of that. 1:32.3. It's a terrible lap time. 1:31.3 for Hamilton. Still slower than everyone in front, apart from Lawson, who has that major issue. Still being closed down by Antonelli, but there's a chance that we can hang on for points with Hamilton. Tyre wear seems to be holding firm like this. If I'd known that the tyres were going to wear at this rate rather than the prediction, I would have gone mediums for Valtteri as well. Iwasa's fault escalates.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Has no real bearing on our race at the moment. That's very gracious of you there, Farah.
And you're doing a good job on tyres.
All right, Valtteri's pace starting to improve. Tyre temps creeping up towards the maximum of their window.
Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for.
Which I think it's going to be 125.
Very happy with your tyre use.
I just hope that today's race for Valtteri won't become a lesson in abject futility. How's that for you, Farah? All right, so Hamilton's now about 8 seconds behind Leclerc. It's got Antonelli for company. Battery's almost full. Tyre wear predictions do suggest he will be able to make it at this pace setting. It's not just Antonelli though. Behrman's right there as well. We could lose 2 places here. Keep him covered. That's good. Let's turn our attention back to Valtteri. Piastri and Russell have joined the back of the queue as well behind Hamilton. Whose pace took a hit that last lap because he had to go defensive.
What about tyres?
Should be okay.
Right, let's push Valtteri.
Do you need to be mode push?
Yeah, copy.
Tyre phase update when you can.
15 laps to go. Norris leads by just over 13 seconds from Max Verstappen. Lawson's hanging on well, despite the issues with the car. Tsunoda threatening to take third place for the second season in a row. Just sets a new fastest lap as well. He's making the move. He gets through. So for the second Japanese race in a row, Yuki Tsunoda is on course for third place. We are almost out of spare fuel with Valtteri. And we haven't really been able to close the gap to Ocon. Or drop Lindblad, which is a little bit of a worry. I'm also concerned that temperatures might drop when we stop pushing like this.
Use the energy.
Yep.
There we go. No more battery for Valtteri.
DRS.
Yeah, copy.
Still haven't been able to
Charge
drop
on.
Lindblad. Still haven't closed in on Ocon. But we are all closing in slightly on Hamilton. Might be a different story at the end of this lap. Sainz down to 19th place now, and a long way back. His gearbox issues pretty serious. Stroll all the way down in 20th. And Wass has been at the back of the grid since the start. Lawson continuing to hang on though, despite his issues. I wonder what they are. That's it for the spare fuel. 130.8 for Lewis that lap.
So P7.
P7's pretty good though, considering where we started. That's another 4 points. No, 6 points, if we can hang on. Oh, it's a yellow flag.
And we need to increase lift and coast.
A little issue for K-Mag.
And if we watch Magnussen, oh, and they need to be
Down in
watching those
17th
track
though, that
limits.
doesn't really help
And
us.
they might want to take a look at the floor of the car there, because that won't do it any good.
That's what broke Mick's car. So far, Magnussen has escaped without any damage. Yeah, these tyres will make it. So will these. Will be a little tight at the end, but it's a question of whether we can hang on to 7th. I mean, we've got some very quick drivers behind us. It would be disappointing if we end up finishing 11th here with Hamilton. Here comes Kimi again, and this time I think he's going to get us. And he does. Can we stay with him though?
Race is long.
See the tyre temps have dropped back down to 111 now that we stopped pushing. A little bit of an increase for the dirty air and the cornering, but Antonelli's off already, look.
And more energy available.
Yep.
We have actually dropped Lindblad, I've just noticed. But I don't know if we'll be able to stay ahead. I'm hoping that tyres are going to become an issue for the AI soon.
Continue, keep going.
And that we're going to see some drops in pace. Come on, hold him off. Ah, nope. We got shown the grass. That's down to 9th.
Glazing.
Alright, let's concentrate. Piastri behind.
Stay with him if you can, please.
Piastri is behind.
We can't stay with him. We are going to end up dropping behind Piastri and Russell. I can just feel it. Ocon's not too far behind as well. So it could be 12th and 13th. That would be a real disappointment considering how long we've been running up in the top half of the field. But there is a creeping sense of inevitability about this. 10 laps to go. Norris leads by 14.5 seconds. Tsunoda in 3rd. 2.5 seconds clear of Lawson now. Albon closing in slowly on his teammate. Leclerc's pretty close as well. There's a bit of a gap back to Antonelli. Behrman is in 8th. Hamilton 9th, coming under pressure now from Piastri. Russell right behind, and so is Ocon now.
So next car behind is Piastri.
I think now is the time to go ultra defensive.
Try to stay in front.
This will compromise our overall pace. But if it makes us harder to be overtaken, then it's a worthwhile sacrifice. We're not going to catch back up to Behrman and Antonelli unless their tyres fall apart. Hadjar's through on Lindblad. He's closing in on the back of Valtteri. And you can see how our pace has suffered as soon as we stopped pushing on the braking zones. Maybe we should have massively overfueled for this circuit. Bear that in mind for next time. They are lining up, look. Maybe I should have done this a little earlier. Maybe I could have kept Behrman behind, if not Antonelli. Still 9th place is still 2 more points. And would be 4 races from 4 where we scored points.
Tyre phase update when you can.
My tyres are still okay, man.
Here comes Kimi once again. Oh, he's got a really big overspeed on us. But we just about hang it out around the outside. Oh, come on, come on. Yes, there we go. We show Piastri the curb and we keep the place. That was tough. Where are we in the championship? 10th, I think. But this will potentially move us up another place again. We've scored 8 points so far this season. So we're on course to make that 10 if we can stay where we are. Behrman's got in front of Antonelli. Ollie Behrman really pumping in some good pace there. Tyre temps have just dipped out of the window.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Track temperature, is it going up or down? I think it went down. Oh, it's starting to climb back up again. That's good. We need it to climb.
And some lift off if you can.
Hadjar now just a second and a half behind Valtteri. There he is.
We don't think we need any lift and coast.
Copy.
Gasly gets past Lindblad, so Lindblad down to 16th now. Sainz now 20 seconds behind Bortoletto. Seriously ill Ferrari. That is in danger of getting lapped. That's Sainz. That's Norris. Hamilton once again shuts the door on Piastri. Yeah, we should have done this sooner. Put him into defence. Might have been able to hold on to 7th or 8th. Didn't think we would struggle quite so much for pace as we have been doing, though. I thought, you know, if someone got past us, we would have a chance of being able to fight back and take the place back. And we just, the second they got through, that was it, off and away.
And we need to increase.
Despite pushing fuel and battery for Valtteri, the gap has come down even more. It's now just 1 second. I need to save that battery then. I'm going to put
charge on.
Valtteri into always defend as well.
You need to keep the cars behind you. Behind you.
All right, 5 laps to go.
And 5 laps to go.
I just said that. Evening, Clark. Bortoletto and Magnussen switching places.
Good job on tyres.
Oh man, look how close they are. This could end in disaster for all three of us. A lockup would be devastating. Still got some battery and a little bit of fuel in reserve. If absolutely comes to it, I could always push the tyres slightly, but not for very long.
And 4 laps to go.
Understood.
And this time I don't think we're going to be able to hold him back. Yeah, he's through. All right, let's go straight on the attack, see if we can maybe get the place back.
Race is long.
Or at the very least, stay close enough to get DRS from him. Help us defend against George. We are now fighting for a point. Hadjar is putting pressure on Valtteri as well. Gasly's right there too, which is perhaps saving Valtteri a little bit. Hadjar can't attack if he's having to defend. Look at that, Oscar is already a second and a half clear. Come on, Lewis, everything you got.
And behind we have Russell.
Yeah, we are not getting that place back. Can we at least hang on?
Yep.
Charge button on.
Understood.
Three laps to go.
George is going to breeze through. Damn it.
Continue, keep going. Car behind is Ocon. Take care of the tires.
That's so frustrating.
Behind we have Ocon. Continue like this.
It doesn't matter if we get overtaken by Ocon now.
And you can use all the boost bar. You can push.
Two laps to go.
At the moment, P11. Next car in front will be Russell. Gap to him 1.8.
The fastest lap for George. Gets the DRS to close in on the back of Piastri and pull him further away from us.
2 laps to go.
Our race has kind of fizzled out a little bit. Hajar got alongside for the briefest of moments there, but couldn't quite make the move stick. It's not for lack of trying. And we just can't get close enough.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Load push.
Copy that.
Definitely need those new parts that are in development, the suspension and side pods.
Last lap.
He has DRS.
I don't think going onto soft tyres would have made any difference because we'd have had to stop. Nobody else has. I think we were always destined to finish outside of the points. If I'd been told at the start of the Grand Prix that I would have a chance of finishing 11th and 13th like this, I'd be very happy, especially considering where we qualified. But the way it's worked out, the way it's shaken out, has left me feeling very disappointed that we couldn't quite manage to hang on.
He's first over the line. And Lando Norris picks up the win.
Astounding. I don't think anyone would deny them their victory lap after a race like that.
Can Hamilton at least hang on for 11th?
DRS.
Should be able to.
Go back to doing lift and coast now.
Copy.
There we go. So for the first time this season, we do not score points.
And checkered flag.
That is frustrating.
That's the check.
Sponsor goals 18th and 18th, so we've easily done that, but yeah, just a lack of pace in the car still. We've got drivers who are strong in their racecraft, but when they get overtaken, there's not much they can do.
We've got the Haas driver as we start to wrap up proceedings.
Little Volley Bearman there getting
some points for the team.
a hug and a clap on the back from his mechanic.
And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
Their first win of the season, and the team looking on will be very proud, I'm sure.
and a lovely show of sportsmanship to conclude proceedings here in Japan.
Good to see Yuki getting on the podium at Japan again.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that's all for today as we wrap up the weekend here in Japan.
Join us for the next round as we head to Shanghai for all the excitement of the Chinese Grand Prix.
Okay, then, confirmation of the final results. It is Lando Norris taking the win ahead of Max Verstappen. Yuki Tsunoda getting back-to-back podiums here at Suzuka. Lawson up 13 places to finish in 4th. He was one of the other drivers that did not box under that VSC and in the wet, along with both of our drivers. And who was the other car that didn't box? I forget who it was now. But, yeah, he made it work, didn't he? Up 13 places, despite having major issues with his car as well. That is a fantastic result for him. Kept his teammate behind him as well. Leclerc finishes in 6th place, ahead of Ollie Behrman. Antonelli eventually getting past us to take 8th. Piastri 9th. Russell up 12 places from the back of the grid to finish in 10th. Got the fastest lap as well. And then into 11th, it's Lewis. Started in 20th, finished in 11th. Normally that would be an excellent result, but as I say, the way the race evolved, it did become as a little bit of a disappointment that we couldn't hang on in the end, and we were 4 seconds away from points on the when we crossed the line. Kept Ocon behind. He started in P4, ended up in 12th. Good race for Valtteri, all things considered. Up 6 places to take 13th. Hadjar in 14th, Gasly 15th, 16th for Lindblad, 17th for Magnussen, 18th for Bortoletto. Then the cars with problems. Sainz 19th, massively off the pace once his car started playing up. Stroll having big issues as well. He was running pretty high at one point, ended up down in 20th. And Iwasa never really got going. Broke his underfloor on turn 1, or damaged his underfloor on turn 1. Mick Schumacher, the only retirement, damaging his underfloor on the on lap 1, and then breaking it entirely while it was still wet, bringing out that VSC. Let's take a look then at the driver standings. So Max goes top by 4 points over Lando Norris, who also moves up as well with his first win of the season. George, just 1 point. Having started this season so dominantly, is now sitting in 3rd place. He's 6 points behind his teammates, 10 points behind Max Verstappen. Oscar in 4th has 39 points. Look at the big gap there is between the top 3 and everybody else. Gasly, no points for him. He stays 5th with 35 points. Albon has 28 points now. Tsunoda up 4 places into 7th with 24 points. 1 ahead of Charles Leclerc, who's on 23. Sainz down 3 places into 9th on 21. No points for him today. Then it is Ollie Behrman in 10th on 16. Lawson gets his first points of the season and rockets up 9 places into 11th. Antonelli is 12th with 12 points as well. Then it's Hadjar from Bortoletto, Hamilton and Schumacher, Lindblad, Bottas, Esteban Ocon. Then the non-scorers, Kevin Magnussen, Lance Stroll and Ayumu Iwasa. In the constructors' standings, Mercedes have outscored everybody thanks to Norris's win. They're on 148 points. They sit a nice little 56-point gap ahead of Red Bull now. McLaren in 3rd, just 6 points for them today. They're on 51 points. Ferrari jumping Alpine, who didn't score. So Ferrari on 44 points now, 7 behind McLaren and 3 ahead of Alpine. Williams just a point further back, and they picked up big points today, 22 points for them. Big points for Aston as well. They picked up 15. They're now on 26th and 7th. Haas pick up 6 points. They're up a place into 8th with 16. Audi down into 10th to 9th with 10 points, and we are still 10th with 8 points. Had we been able to hang on, we could have overtaken Audi today. Never mind. Racing Ball's still yet to get off the mark. Did we get on the leaderboard here? Yes, we did. 2 points for Valtteri with his 2.27 stop. Very nice. Alpine get the quickest stop with Pierre Gasly. That is the quickest stop for Alpine this season. Mercedes take 2nd and 7th. McLaren take 3rd. Racing Bulls take 4th. Red Bull 5th. Audi gets 6th place. Williams in 8th and Haas in 10th. So lots of teams picking up some points today. No Ferrari in the top 10. Standings then look like this. It is Red Bull top with 94 points, 7 clear of McLaren, who've closed the gap a little bit. Then Mercedes jumping Audi. They picked up 24 points today. They're now on 67, 20 behind McLaren. Audi on 53 points. No points for Ferrari. They stay in 5th on 32 points. And Alpine score almost all of their points today. They had 1. Now they're on 26. And they are up 3 places and 6 points behind Ferrari. Williams down a place. They're on 18 points. Racing Bulls get their first points of the season. They're up 2 places into 8th at the expense of Aston and Cadillac. Aston with 11 points. Despite our 2 points earned, we still only have the 3, so we are down into 10th. And Haas are off the mark. So everybody has now scored a point or more. There you see our 2 stops. Excellent stop for Valtteri. Not so good for Lewis, but at least it was clean. Didn't lose any track position thanks to a clean stop. And both of our drivers did achieve their sponsor targets. Payouts, unfortunately, not what we need them to be. But at least we're getting some money coming in. Let's head back to HQ and start prepping for a double header. All right, our race sim is refurbished. What time am I on tomorrow? Usual time, 8 p.m. here in the UK. So adjust accordingly, depending on your time zone. Let's have a look at the inbox, shall we? Yes, we know that that's been refurbed. It's nice to get that development back up to 40%. Nice to get the condition back up. So that we are maximising how much we're spending. We still have debt issues, but at least now we've got a little bit of cash in the bank. It's not much. Let's see if the cars came through unscathed. No, failed side pod, failed suspension, and we knew about that broken underfloor as well. So we've got no spare suspensions now. That's not ideal. How long until the new ones are ready? It's going to be close. Oh, a day. A day for both of those. Okay. So we've got less money than I would like, but enough to at least get one of each of those upgrades started. Let's install a replacement suspension and a replacement side pod. There we go. Cars are fixed up. Let's advance time a day. There we go. So, side pod is going to cost me 450k. It'll cost me 300k per suspension, so I can only afford one of each. But we do want to get the ball rolling on both of those. We've got more money coming soon from our sponsors. Hopefully we have achieved what we need to get our payout there. You can see we're just 3 days away from that. Yes, we have. Very nice. So, 4.26 mil added. Did we have a compulsory? We did. Wind tunnel advert for another 2.8. We got 7.2 mil. That is very nice. So much as I would love to slap a huge chunk of that on a a mighty front wing upgrade, we are no longer at the point where we can justify that. We have too many things that we need to spend money on. So it'll be normal upgrades now, unfortunately. At least I can throw all of my hours on this if I want to. What I might do is split them with my underfloor, though, because we haven't done a new underfloor yet. Let's just see what a wing would look like with this level of upgrade. I really want to work on the tyre wear a little bit. That's mainly the suspension's job. We want to work on airflow sensitivity, improve our dirty air performance, take a little bit of life out of the front wing. It's not likely to give us any actual performance gains in any one category. What would happen if I threw all the hours in? Not a lot. Yeah, wouldn't make any real difference. Okay, let's see what happens if I take all the hours out. And just save them for the underfloor. Definitely does have a slight knock-on effect. We'll go with that. Let's get that confirmed. So 42 days plus 3 days per build. So we're looking at new front wings from Monaco. They're not really worth that much at all, are they? Right, underfloor. This is where we can make our biggest gains in terms of downforce. $32 days plus 8 per to build, so that'll be 40, 48. So again, we'll have those from Monaco. All right, I've got 4.5 mil. Let's increase the build queue by a couple on each of these. Got 2.2 mil. So into our facilities, we can fix up our team hub, which is an upgrade actually. 2.2 mil. I don't want to spend all that money. Anything here need our attention or about to? No. .5. Yeah, let's work on that. And that's it. No more money. All right, sponsor time. Let's see. No mandatories this period, unfortunately. Let's get Daddy Rick doing some stuff. Let's do some factory work. Oh, that might make things tricky. See if we can dial some of that back. Let's go with that. Can I take that out and replace it with something else? We are short. Do not want to use the race sim. If at all possible, but screw it. Let's use it for this one time, just to make sure we definitely clear it. I want to keep the factory unmolested, shall we say, so that we can get those parts out in time for Monaco. Otherwise, there's a risk that we won't. Right, 7 days to go until China. We should be able to get a weather reports. It's going to be hot. So, softs and mediums, which should be the order of the day. Did anyone beat the lap records? No. Lap record is still Kimi Antonelli. Now, hang on a minute. Yeah. Oh, that's yeah, race times, isn't it? Okay, let's take a look at historic results. It won't show me. I was kind of curious what the fastest lap was. I should have paid attention. Never mind. It's time to check in on the board. They were satisfied again with the position. I can kind of get behind a satisfied ranking on that one, considering we didn't get points. I got 1.7 mil still. Actually, it's more than I thought. Let's get that started. That desperately needs a little bit of TRC. Alright, chassis is done, so I've got a couple of spare chassis now. I should have, yep. See how the staff are feeling. Hamilton's neutral, Valtteri's positive. Everyone is going to be pissed about the car. Javi's negative. Ooh, what's wrong with Javi? Why are you in misery guts? Unhappy with the driver standings and constructor standings. Very unhappy with car performance. Very unhappy with other staff. Unhappy with drivers. Unhappy with facilities. His salary is dirt cheap. Really don't want to mess with that at all. He's going to want more in a contract negotiation. Marco Peroni improves by a point. And there we go. We are set for China, which is a sprint Grand Prix. That's tomorrow's race. We'll be back at the usual time of 8 PM here in the UK for round 5 and our third sprint of 10 this season. Hope you have enjoyed tonight's Grand Prix as we take a quick glance at the current standings there. If you have, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. If you're not yet subscribed, then why not consider subscribing to the channel as well? It's free and helps show your support. And you know, be sure to hit that bell for notifications on when the live streams actually start as well. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back shortly, actually, with a very quick rolling line live stream. But tomorrow with our next F1 Manager race.